live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Steve Curry. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. First for the Lakers. And it's center, the most dominant physical presence in the NBA, the elite defensive big man, Dwight Howard. Then it's LeBron James, and it's Davis in at the 4 spot. And for Phoenix, then it's Bridges, and it's Crowder in at the 4 slot.
Everybody knows how brutal the Western Conference can be, and part of the reason the Lakers were able to make it to the playoffs is because they were above 500 in the West. Unbelievable what I'm seeing here. Is this the dunk contest?
Hey, this one counts, Clark. Believe me, what confidence to attempt the alley-oop to himself.
He just couldn't resist, could he? Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
And here is Paul.
You know, if there was no salary cap, no max contract in the NBA, you'd have to wonder what LeBron James would command for his salary. I mean, he clearly is worth more than the maximum you can pay him because he's so far ahead of everybody else in the league in terms of talent. I think Kevin Durant is probably the only one who comes close to him in terms of a guy of that size and that ability.
We're about 1 minute into the first. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, I spoke briefly with Monty Williams. He said that one player he's really wary of is Anthony Davis, adding he can impact the game in so many ways. Defense, shot blocking, rebounding, and scoring. He's still adding muscle, and we've got to capitalize on that strength advantage at both ends. Kevin, that's the MO for any young player. We'll see how he stands up to it.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. And going back to the topic of max contracts, if those were higher relative to the cap, it might be harder to assemble the big 3-star trios we, for instance, see in Miami.
And, Kevin, I think that's where we're heading with the new CBA. It's going to be more and more difficult to put 3 max guys together. And so teams are kind of working their way through this new CBA, trying to figure out how they're going to structure their payrolls going forward.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
But one thing you got to watch out with him, he loves that corner 3, and that's the easiest 3 on the court, the shortest distance, about 22 feet. That's his sweet spot.
And when you watch him, Steve, you can see how quickly he looks to take his shot when he's on the receiving end of a pass and how successful he is when he does take the shot. This guy is a catch, fire, and hit guy.
1:04 left in the first quarter. Out of bounds, Phoenix takes possession. The Suns have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. That's a 2 from Paul. It's good. Only a few seconds into the shot clock. Paul's got his first bucket in this one. The 3 from LeBron. Offensive rebound. Outside Westbrook. Stolen by Landry. Pushing it up. Paul, right side. And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys. So that's a free basket right there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
A big group substitution here for the Lakers.
You know, the Suns really had a lot to overcome as they started the rebuilding project, and they just weren't the same team the home crowd was used to seeing, and the struggles were evidenced by that 17-24 record here at home.
Here's Crowder. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. Crowder's got 5 now.
Yeah, they're really doing a nice job of stringing together solid possessions and building that lead up.
That's the key, Steve. They'll stay in control of this game if they can just avoid any lulls going forward.
And the Suns making a change here. Outside Westbrook. Outside Rondo. He feeds it to Tucker. The kick out to Westbrook. Shot clock at 6. Outside Anthony. Can they get it? And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Here's Payton. The shot will not go. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Phoenix ahead. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Suns.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And the other thing they're doing is forcing a lot of turnovers, and that's helping them to get easy points at the other end.
Timeout called the Lakers. And the Lakers making a change here. James is checked in. Lakers trail by 8. Goes up on the wing. And a little luck that time, but it drops. LeBron's got 8 points.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play him.
Tries it from the top of the key. No good from Payton.
You know, there aren't too many driving dish point guards out there anymore, but Rondo is the epitome of that type of guard in the NBA. He is always looking to make a move and create space for a teammate, and his assist totals reflect that.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Guys, it's hard to doubt that LeBron James, after 2 straight titles and 4 MVPs in the last 5 years, seems to be at the top of his game. LeBron candidly said, quote, "I'm at my highest peak. I don't know if I can continue to improve." But he certainly remains motivated, saying, quote, "At the end of the day, I have a goal to be the best of all time, and I'm going to put that pressure on myself." And Kevin, if he can just stay at this level for a long period of time, he may get there.
I like his chances. Thanks. Well, Clark, you talked about Rondo's playmaking. I think Steve and I agree. He's led the league in assists per game the last 2 seasons in that very important category, Steve, and I think that speaks volumes.
It's pretty incredible what Rondo has been able to accomplish in the NBA. Fell to late in the first round to the Celtics back in his draft class, but here he is developing into one of the top point guards in the league.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. There's a minute 47 left to play here in the half. Payton dishes to Smith. Makes the lead pass. It's stolen by Rondo. Out of bounds. Phoenix takes possession.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
There's a minute 34 left to play here in the second quarter.
You know, when you're one of the worst teams in the league, you have a lot of problems. And for the Suns, one of their biggest problems was that opponents shot very close to 40% against them from behind the arc. And that's just not a winning number.
We've got 1:28 left here in the second, and plenty of contact on the shot. So, 2 free throws coming up. As you said, Clark, with the Suns, dead last in the league in terms of opposing three-point percentage. Defense overall was a problem for him, Steve, but especially in closing out on shooters beyond the arc.
Well, the three-point shot, Kevin, has become such a huge part of every NBA team's offense now that if you're struggling to defend that line, you're going to really find yourself at the bottom of the league defensively and record-wise, and that's exactly where Phoenix found itself.
Well, for LeBron James, guys, the stat say it all. He's always a beast. But when you play him at the power forward position, his numbers take on a whole nother level of excellence.
No good on the free throw. And Clark, you mentioned LeBron playing at the 4 being a tough matchup for teams. Steve, why is that?
Well, we've seen the same thing with Carmelo Anthony, a guy who's playing at the 4, who has great size and strength, but also ball handling ability. It compromises the defense, particularly when you put shooters around him.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Bazemore is checked in, and it's Avery Bradley in for Russell Westbrook.
Boy, he's just dangling from the rim after sending it through there.
You can see which team now has the swagger, Clark, right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's with them.
Yeah, but you don't want to do too much to get an opponent riled up, though, either.
Here's LeBron. Good. LeBron's got 5 points now in the quarter.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
Back to Payton. Smith. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. 6 points for Smith.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the Nice throw on that one.
Big group substitution here for the Lakers. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Bradley drives in. Can't hit from in close.
The defense was ready for him that time, and they had to be. He is so powerful in the lane.
And the shot is good. Bridges has got 7 points.
Boy, they are just destroying them in the paint.
You could say that again, Steve. The defenders just aren't aggressive enough down low.
Braun, he's checked in for the Lakers. 27 seconds left in the second quarter. They get it back. Now Howard. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Here's LeBron. Another shot. And we finished one half of basketball. Suns lead by 14.